Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Greg Michalowski from ForexLive.com. It's Friday. Yay! Big week this past week with CPI coming out much stronger than expected. But we saw yesterday the market, the dollar move higher and then move lower in a big reversal. We saw stock prices move lower initially and then rally up with a huge gain. I think the Dow had a 1,500 point low to high trading range yesterday, and the S&P and NASDAQ also were deeply negative and then rally back to the upside. So what is today showing us? What is the dollar doing? We will go through that in the morning technical report right now. We'll start off like we usually do with the euro versus US dollar. It's the most traded currency pair in the planet. So might as well start with that. Then we saw yesterday the price move sharply to the downside after the CPI data. And where do we go? We went right down to our support target down here, one of our support targets. We had to get to and through this level to put ourselves in the extreme down here. This level was a high right here, it was a low right here before the market moved higher. And that's where the price bottomed out yesterday. We started this build. We got above this swing area with number of swing lows through, especially this week's trading here in that area. And then we got above the 100-hour moving average. And you see right here, the price bottomed near that 100-hour moving average. That gave the buyers the go-ahead to push further to the upside, where we moved above the 200-hour moving average, but fell into or stalled near the resistance area here, and also the 50% retracement of the move down from the high here to the lower there. So good reason to sell against the 50% retracement near this swing area, just above the 200-hour moving average, big cluster of resistance. And that's what we saw in trading here today as well. The last gasp, this move above the 200-hour moving average failed, and we started to rotate back to the downside, where in the beginning of the New York session, we're trading above and below the 100-hour moving average, now moving to the upside after the retail sales report into this swing area. So we've sort of defined our area, our levels, and not surprisingly, the sellers had their shot below the 100-hour moving average, but seeing a rebound away from that level now. So the 100-hour moving average will continue to be our support target on the downside. If we get below that level with more momentum, we could see a rotation back to this swing area here. But I suspect that we might find some buyers against this level now with the resistance up near the 200-hour moving average at 0.97867. And we'll see what happens. It's Friday, so understand that there could be lots of volatility in the stock market, and the bond markets may be on fire, or still on fire. We'll see how it all plays out. The Dow is currently up 225 points after being near unchanged at the start of the New York session. So there is some additional buying going on in that, which had the impact of weakening the dollar yesterday. So that's the euro versus US dollar. Let's take a look at the dollar versus yen, and this currency pair continues to push to the upside. I have this channel here. We went above it yesterday, then fell back below it and closed nearer the highest level in the Asian session. We moved up to the top side of the old channel trend line, and we are starting to move back above it and also above the high price from yesterday. The pair is trading at highest level since I think 1998, or I think that's it, right? But anyway, multi-decade highs here for the dollar versus yen. And as long this week we did see the price move above the 145 level. Remember, that level was where we had verbal intervention way down here, and then we had actual intervention at the 145.90 level, also above that level. And of significance this week was that on Wednesday, after breaking above the 145.90 level right here, the price came down to right around the 145.98 level, just 8 pips away from that 45 level, and rotated to the upside. That was the catalyst for further upside momentum. Also of note yesterday is that the low price here came down, tested the old channel trend line through here, and admittedly we went below it here and here, but we reestablished that support there, and that helped to push the pair back to the upside. So the buyers remain in control, but always concerned about the Bank of Japan coming in for that currency pair. So that's your risk if you choose to take it. The sterling versus the US dollar, we had more political news with the sacking of the Chancellor of the Exchequer. Also calls for potential Truss's resignation as PM just after a few weeks in the office. So They like to move things around. They also like the word sacked. I don't know. It's kind of harsh. But anyway, the pound versus US dollar, we're seeing yields move lower, and we're also seeing the pound move to the downside as well here in trading today after the rise yesterday. Technically, we came back down to the 200-hour moving average here near the 1.1190. The price has since bounced back up and currently trades at 11249, which is just above this swing area. The swing area has swing lows, swing lows, swing lows, and then rotate back to the downside, and then come back into it, rotate to the downside, and then move above it here, and then try to find support here, and then use resistance here. And yesterday, the market moved back above that level and fell below it here today. So we're going to watch this swing area, watch the 200-hour moving average. That's now support. If we move above this with more momentum, we should see a rotation back toward this other swing area up near the 113.50 to 54 level. That would be our target on the upside. Move above that, and we start to look toward this swing area and these highs through here near the 114.95 level, which is, let's call it 115 for the pound versus US dollar. It was just a few weeks ago that the, well, it's been a little bit longer than that. I guess September 23rd, the price was all the way down at 1.0353. So we are currently, about 900 pips above that level, or roughly 9% off of that low in a short amount of time. But we had of course, the sharp move to the downside for the pound versus US dollar. Stay above the 200-hour moving average, more bullish for the pound versus US dollar still. Move below the 200-hour moving average, and we'll look toward the 100-hour moving average. Let's take a look at the dollar versus Swiss on the hourly chart. And what we saw in the early London session was an attempt to get below the rising 100-hour moving average. What have we done this week against that moving average? We moved a little bit below it here. We moved a little bit below it here. We moved a little bit below it here and here and here on these hourly bars. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hourly bars over the last 4 trading days. Traded below the 100-hour moving average, and each time the price rebounded within that hour and then reestablished support against the moving average. And trading here today, we had 2 hourly bars in a row trade below the 100-hour moving average, but we could not get below this old level here. Had it earmarked as 0.99647. Why? Because it was a swing high here, a swing high here, swing low here. Yeah, admittedly, we went above and blow it through here, but this is good enough to get a strong red line, and that's where the price bounced, and we move back to the upside. We are seeing some selling back down toward the 100-hour moving average at 0.9985. We need to get below that level, need to get below this level right here, need to get below this swing area, and then need to get below the 200-hour moving average to increase the bearish bias in the dollar versus Swiss. On the top side, watch now that we've moved back below the parity level, we're just trading below that level. Watch the parity 20 level. That was a swing high. It was also a swing high early in the Asian session here today. Moved above it here, tried to move up toward our high, couldn't do it. So we are seeing a little bit of failure against that. Does resistance turn into support now? Or, does resistance turn back into resistance now that the price moved back below it? I would think so. Finally, take a quick look at the dollar versus Canada on the hourly chart. We have this swing area, swing high, swing high, swing high. Moved above it here, swing high, swing high, swing high, all these swing highs. And we raced to the upside yesterday, failed on the way down, came down to the 200-hour moving average where we tried both yesterday and early today to move below that level. Haven't been able to get below the 200-hour moving average with any sort of momentum. We're going to need to get below that 200-hour moving average with momentum to increase the bearish bias. I like the fact that this red line up here, where we had a swing high, swing high, swing high, swing high, swing high, held resistance on the top side, so the sellers are remaining in control. So there you have it, a look at some of the major currency pairs for today to plan your trade. Hope it helps you out. My name is Greg Michalowski. Good fortune with your trading. Bye-bye now.